Up. So taiko drum is the Japanese traditional instrument, and it has a very long history, thousands of years, throughout all different parts of Japan. They use for the religious ceremonies, and they also use for the more casual folk art, and also we use for the court music. At some point they used for the war, for the battles. Now mostly this is the instrument they use in the community. People get together and play for the festivals and things. So this is the big drum, big taiko drum, or daiko. And then we have kodaiko, which is the small ones. The name of our group is Tsurunokai, which means gathering of the crane in Japanese. The kind of music that we play is a traditional folk music from all different parts of Japan, but also we create our own original music, and it's a taiko ensemble. So we use some, not just one, but we have 8 drums in our whole group. We made all these drums, beautiful drums, are all made in Reno. Actually, I grew up in Tokyo, and I used to play taiko drum in Tokyo, and then when I came over here 16 years ago, I realized that it's pretty important to have a taiko drum in the community. So I made a drum, and then I think I met Cindy through the Japanese American Citizen League.
Actually, it was at Obon.
It was Obon, that's right. And, in Japan, when we have a summer festival, we always have taiko drum, and we dance around it. And in Reno, also, there's a Buddhist church that they do it. So I brought this one drum, and then I played, and then people danced around, and Cindy came up to me and said,
"Hey, nice drum." I told her, actually, a lot of people in the community would love to learn how to play taiko drum. And I asked her if she'd be interested in starting a class or doing a workshop.
From there, it just gathered its own momentum, and that's where it really started.
Your grandfather is from grandparents or?
Mother is second. I'm the fourth.
Fourth generations, yeah.
Yeah. So it's fourth generation. Yes, I'm Japanese, but really, in the whole watered down things, we lose a lot of the culture. And she would watch videos of the professional taiko performances. So she really had an interest in it, and I'm sure because of us, but she really enjoys coming to perform with us as well. So I really like the fact that she has taken an interest in taiko. Every drum has its own tone, so we all have to listen as we are in sync. So that's really the key in terms of being able to listen, seeing what everyone else is doing, and becoming a team with that. That's really the nuance of us playing the drums together. So that's what makes it fun.
Well, I actually had been following taiko for many years, ever since I was a small child. And I always thought a couple of things. One is you had to be Japanese to play, and secondly, that your life had to be dedicated to it, like in a temple or a Buddhist monastery or something. And one day, Diane, one of our members, asked me to come down and watch her play at Idlewild Park. And so I went down, and Rieko, at the end of the performance, says, "Anybody that would like to play, come down and join us." I started when I was 68, and I'm now 74 and some. And I would recommend you start much earlier.
Well, it appeals on a lot of different levels. You're making a big, loud noise, a deep noise, lots of reverberation. There's a real physicality to playing it. And it's a sensory experience on a lot of different levels. We've had reports from folks in our audiences that their babies have been lulled to sleep during some of our loudest songs because of that rhythm and the reverberation and the spirit behind the music.
These couple weekends we get together, and these drums that Marvin, he is the builder, but we also help him making it. So Bob, you did a lot of sanding here, didn't you?
Yeah, we have, the finishes are a stain finish. We have them all looking alike now. And this will look like the one you see on the stand. The,
But this is the
the-
old wine barrel, right?
right,
This is the
and-
old wine barrel.
And this is oak, and so it sands very hard, but it comes out very smooth. We do 4 sandings to get it down to this level. We'll stain it, put the heads on. And so the labor is divided between sanding, taking out the tacks, working on the handles, working on getting the tacks straightened out again.
We might re-stretch an old hide, or we might replace it. We'll get a piece of rawhide and soak it in my bathtub. It's the biggest one, and accommodates these cow hides, and then cut it on a pattern. And we cut these holes in it that you see that look like ruffles around the edges. And we have a big apparatus that Marvin designed specially to stretch it properly over the drum head. And then as it dries and we tack it on, we've got to tune it. So we'll bring Rieko in to make sure that it's being stretched just the right amount.
Yeah, it's hard to tune it because it's not like you can change the tone. Once you tack it, that's it. So you kind of have to guess how much I should tighten it. This tacking in a nicely is really hard to do. There are a lot of taiko group in the United States, but not very many group is making their own drums. So our group is pretty unique. Okay, well, we're gonna play based on the traditional folk music from not far from Tokyo. And once a year, they have a big festival on December, and this is the song that they play. And it's a pretty famous piece called Chichibuya Taibayashi.